Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 19. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Antate kathayishyami divya hyatma vibhutayah pradhanyatah kuru shrestha nastyanto vistarasya me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Hanta, yes, te, unto you, kathayishyami, I shall speak, divyaha, divine, he, certainly, atma vibhutaya, personal opulences, pradhanyatah, which are principal, kuru shrestha, O best of the kurus, na asti, there is not, antah, limit, vistarasya, to the extent, may, my. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Purport. It is not possible to comprehend the greatness of Krishna and his opulences. The senses of the individual soul are limited and do not permit him to understand the totality of Krishna's affairs. Still, the devotees try to understand Krishna, but not on the principle that they will be able to understand Krishna fully at any specific time or in any state of life. Rather, the very topics of Krishna are so relishable that they appear to the devotees as nectar. Thus, the devotees enjoy them. In discussing Krishna's opulences and his diverse energies, the pure devotees take transcendental pleasure. Therefore, they want to hear and discuss them. Krishna knows that living entities do not understand the extent of his opulences. He therefore agrees to state only the principal manifestations of his different energies. The word pradhanyatah, principal, is very important because we can understand only a few of the principal details of the Supreme Lord, for his features are unlimited. It is not possible to understand them all. And vibhuti, as used in this verse, refers to the opulences by which he controls the whole manifestation. In the Amarakosha dictionary, it is stated that vibhuti indicates an exceptional opulence. The impersonalist or pantheist cannot understand the exceptional opulences of the Supreme Lord, nor the manifestations of his divine energies. Both in the material world and in the spiritual world, his energies are distributed in every variety of manifestation. Now, Krishna is describing what can be directly perceived by the common man. Thus, part of his variegated energy is described in this way. So, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So, actually, this is in response to Arjuna's questions, which are, I think, in the last two verses. Just to recap the questions, three verses 16, 17, and 18. He said, Arjuna said, Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? O Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So, this is the question by Arjuna, in response to which Krishna started to answer, beginning with today's verse. So, Arjuna's questioning was made just after his declaration of his realization that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is so substantiated by even not only by him because he's just a friend or he's just eulogizing him because in Hindi we say maska marna, just simply buttering him up. So that's not the point. So therefore, Arjuna said, not only am I saying this, I'm saying this because not only have I realized it, but also the previous authorities have substantiated this. Who? Great sages like Asita, Devala, Narada, Vyasa. These are Mahajans of the universe, not ordinary people. If they say something that is valuable, because they don't make mistakes. Arsha Vignya Vakya Nahi Dosha Esha Bhram Brahmad Vipralipsa Karana Patav. In the Chaitanya Charitamritam, this is explained. Mistakes, illusions, cheating, and defective perception do not occur in the sayings of the authoritative sages. And who are authoritative? Because there are so many munis and rishis. Who are these authoritative sages? These are Mahajans. Not all munis are Mahajans. You see, स्वयंभूर्नारदः शंभुः कुमारः कपिलो मनुः प्रह्लादो जनको भीष्मो बलिर्वैयासकिर्वयम् द्वादशैते विजानीमो धर्मं भागवतं भटाः गुह्यं विशुद्धं दुर्बोधं यं ज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते. Lord Brahma, Bhagavan Narada, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami, and I myself know the real religious principle. My dear servants, this transcendental religious principle, which is known as Bhagavat Dharma, or surrender unto the Supreme Lord and love for Him, is uncontaminated by the modes of nature, material modes of nature. It is very confidential and difficult for ordinary human beings to understand, but if by chance one fortunately understands it, he is immediately liberated and thus he returns home back to Godhead. So these are the 12 names of the Mahajans, and whoever is coming in their parampara, Guru Shishya parampara, not in their seminal parampara. Seminal parampara means just by seminal descent, by family. They are not considered Guru Shishya parampara. And who are pure devotees in such paramparas, they are all Mahajans. And so the quality of Mahajan is also defined very clearly. Not that anybody and everybody can have the title of Mahatma, like Gandhi has. That's not the proper certification. Certification must be given by Krishna. So Krishna certifies, this is the qualification of one who is Mahatma. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate, who surrenders to Krishna. And he used it in singular tense. Singular, not tense. What is it? Quantity. Singular. Mam means, he did not say vayam. Vayam means we. No, mam. Alone. Who surrenders to me alone. Exclusively to Krishna. He is called, and he understands Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva is everything. Sa Mahatma. And he is Sudurlabha. He is very rarely found in this world. Only in this world he is Sudurlabha. Because in the spiritual world, people like us are not just Sudurlabha, it is impossible to be even found. In the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, there is no person who is not a Mahatma. Everybody is a Mahatma in the Vaikuntha Loka. In the material world, very rarely we will encounter Mahatmas. And this is the who surrendered to Krishna. This is the definition of Mahatma. And 9:13 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna again says, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritah bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. Again, exclusivity is highlighted. Ananya means what? Anya means something else. Ananya manasaha. That means the mind is not deviated even for a moment to anything else. Constantly focused on Krishna. Bhajanti, and they engage in his service, devotional service. They are called Mahatmas, and they are under the Daivim Prakritim Ashritaha. We are under Mahamaya. We are haunted, influenced by Maya. There are actually two Mayas, broadly speaking. One is Mahamaya, one is Yogamaya. Mahamaya is Durga Devi, who is in charge of this material world. And under her influence, we forget Krishna. And under the influence of Yogamaya, who is the spiritual potency, Mahamaya is material potency, Yogamaya is spiritual potency, under her shelter, we cannot forget Krishna. We don't forget Krishna. So those who are Mahatmas are Daivim Prakritim Ashritaha. They are under the protection of Yogamaya. Yogamaya is represented by Subhadra Devi. And of course, the pinnacle of Yogamaya is Srimati Radharani herself. So bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. They know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead very well. They don't worship even the devatas or ordinary human beings. They don't do Sai bhajans, to put it very bluntly, because they don't worship any human being. There is in fact no such thing as Kirtan means Hari Kirtan, not some Durga Kirtan, Sai Kirtan. This is all nonsense. Krishna is condemning even the Devata Puja. What to speak of ordinary human beings? That is Ananya Manasa. And people who are doing that, worshipping Krishna exclusively, they are classified as Mahatmas. Now some people accuse us. Hey, how can you say that, Devatas should not be worshipped? It is also part of Hinduism. Krishna is also part of Hinduism. Everybody is Hindu. How can you say? You are dividing Hindus. You are not unifying Hindus. Well, Ramayana and Mahabharata, observe. It was a war between who? Ravan was a worshipper of Shiva and Hanuman was a worshipper of Ram. So what? Hindu, right? Both Hindus, right? Why there is a big war? Hiranyakashipu worship Brahma, Hindu, right? Why there is war? Two greatest epics of the world, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Why they are fighting? Because Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Daiva, Asurastad Viparyaya. There was no Hindu Muslim then, but there was war. Asura and Daiva are there always. Asura is who? Asuras are not Vishnu Bhaktas. Asurastad Viparyaya. Whoever is against Vishnu, he is Asura. You see, Vibhishan was in the party of Ravan, but he is considered Bhakta. He is not considered Asura. Although he is from Rakshasa race, he is classified as Bhakta. We have Prahlad Maharaj, son of the greatest demon, Bhakta. Mahajan, just now we read his name in the 12 Mahajans. So as soon as one becomes a Vishnu Bhakta, he becomes a Daiva Sura Bhakta. Everybody else is Asura. Especially those who are inimical to Vishnu. Sometimes there are Devata worshippers who are not so inimical to Vishnu. They have chance, they are not yet devotees. They have chance in the association of devotees if they come, because they are innocent. So they may elevate themselves. But without the association of devotees, we cannot. However pious we may be, if there is no association of devotees, we cannot come to Krishna worship. That's why if you read Bhagavad Gita, what is the final instruction? Sarva dharman parityajya. 4th chapter 7th verse, he said, 4th chapter 8th verse, dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami. Yuge yuge, every yuga I am coming to dharma samsthapana, to establish religious principles. And then finally he says, sarva dharman parityajya. Parityajya means what? Parityag. Give up. All dharmas give up. What are you saying? Mamekam sharanam vraja. Surrender to me alone. That is dharma samsthapana. Alone. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. This is why we have to learn Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of a bona fide guru, Sat Guru, not the rascal Sadguru. That guy is not bona fide. We have to tell this with using blunt words, because people may like it or not, it doesn't matter. We have to tell the truth. The guy who is parading him with the name of Sadguru is not Sadguru. Because he doesn't say this, that Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. You must surrender to Krishna alone. If he says that, then he is Sadguru. But the rascal does not say. He says, everybody is whatever, just juggle with words. That is not Sadguru. So, this bona fide spiritual master means who repeats the word of Krishna. He does not invent his philosophy. The moment somebody tries to be a little more creative in this field of philosophy, he is a rascal. Immediately rascal. And we will not mince our words. Krishna himself used this. So we are authorized to use these words. People say, how can you judge them like that? Who are you to judge? You see how many people he is changing. What is changing? What is changing? He is misleading them. And why should we not judge? We are always judging. When did we not judge? Every single decision of our life we are judging. Every single moment we are judging. Otherwise we cannot take any decision. Decision comes from the word scission. Scissors. Scission. Scission means to cut. Decision means what is right, what is wrong. You must know and then do. That is a decision, that is a judgment. How can you decide on anything then? But we should know what is the correct judgment, what is correct and what is wrong. How would we know? Karya vyavasthitao. Jnatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartumiharhasi. Tasmat shastram pramanante karya vyavasthito. See, one should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. When we say this, some Hindus are there, smart Hindus. They think they are smart. What they say? Oh, that is all bookish knowledge. You're always quoting the books just like the Abrahamic religions. At least they're quoting books. You cannot quote and then you are saying that, oh, that is Abrahamic. When you quote, that is Abrahamic. You must quote always. What is that lawyer who cannot quote the constitution or the previous judgments? What kind of a lawyer is he? Is he qualified? Because this is not some layman subject when everybody can have an opinion about anything. No, it's not that. There is truth, there is untruth. Opinions don't count. Only one opinion counts, that is Krishna's. Because his opinion is fact. Our opinion may or may not be fact. If it coincidentally coincides with Krishna's opinion, then it is fact. If it is against Krishna's opinion, it's not. So our opinions don't matter. So when we are understanding spiritual subject matter, which are way beyond our understanding, as today's verse is saying, Krishna is saying, my opulences are limitless. You cannot understand them. And he called Arjuna, not just Arjuna, Kṛṣṇa. You know what he meant by that? Arjuna, you are at the pinnacle of humanity, of human race on the earth. Because the Kuru dynasty was the most exalted dynasty of his time on earth. No other continent had among humans somebody who is nearly as close to the Vedic culture. And in the Vedic culture, Arjuna was at the pinnacle. And Kṛṣṇa, you are the best human being on earth. And you will not be able to understand me. Therefore, I will tell you, Pradhanyatah Kṛṣṇa. So we cannot at any time understand Krishna. So what we should do, we should take the opinion of the Shastras. And we should take the opinion of those who are Mahatmas, Mahajans. Who are the Mahajans? Definition is given. All the 12 names that I just showed. Who are they? All of them are Vaishnavas. All of them, without exception. Not one of them was a Shiva devotee or some Durga devotee or some Ganesh, Hanuman. No. That is another thing. Hanuman is not even a devata. He is a bhakta, pure devotee. He is greater than any devata. But people pray to him for material benediction. Oh, give me some strength to pass over, go through this obstacle in my life. And do what after that? Once I get some so-called success, enjoy. Do all things that Hanuman's worshipable Lord Sri Ramachandra asked us not to do. Do those things. For that we need blessings of Hanuman. You think Hanuman is so stupid that he will bless people who are not interested in Ram? Only just Hanuman, I will be Hanuman Bhakta. What does Hanuman Bhakta means? People have forgotten. The problem with our Hindus is they don't read the books at all. They don't understand what is actually correct and what is wrong. How to even approach God, they do not know. So we must know. Even the Christians have the Sunday Mass. Sunday is a holiday only because of Christians, Do you know? Do you know Sunday is a holiday only because of Christians? Because that is a day ordained for church. Okay, you no more work, nothing, go to church. That's how we are having Sunday holiday. Like in Malaysia, some of the states, they have Friday holiday because Muslim. Hindu, work is worship, no holiday. I'll go anywhere and everywhere and work. That is my worship. This is the stupidity of all Hindus. They do not know actually what is important in life. Of course, some say, oh, I believe God is here. He's everywhere. Even in my work, God is there. But are you remembering? Let's be very honest. Are you remembering God every single moment? Are you remembering the money or the boss? So let's be very honest. Yes, God is everywhere. But we should understand Him as He explains it to us. Like English is everywhere. But why do you have to go to school to learn English then? Why? Because there is a systematic way to learn. And then after that, you can apply it anywhere, everywhere. So similarly, temple is a place where we learn how to become Krishna conscious. Become conscious of Krishna. That is our movement. Become conscious of. Now we are unconscious. We are not conscious of Krishna. We are worrying about everything in life but Krishna. We should be worrying about our relationship with Krishna. What am I doing about my relationship with Krishna? Who is that? Vishwamitra Muni, I think, who came to Janak Maharaj. First time they met. And we say, hello, how are you? Hi. What's up? What he said? Aihishtam yattat punarjanma jayaya. How is your endeavor in crossing the ocean of birth and death? That is the greeting. Ahishtam yattat punarjanma jayaya. How are you doing in the matter of crossing the ocean of birth and death? You see how Krishna conscious the greeting is. So, we should be conscious of Krishna. That is our movement. How to become conscious of Krishna at all times. And yes, then wherever you are, you can become Krishna conscious. Srila Prabhupada always said, philosophy without religion is simply dry mental speculation, armchair speculation. Some people, the armchair swinging like that. Yeah, that kind of philosophers who never do anything with their hands and feet, and practically don't do anything, simply theorizing. This. No. We are not that armchair philosophers. We are practical, like Arjuna. He was not like sitting in the rath and that point was nice. Yeah, that's nice. But this I don't know. No, he was not simply like wasting time there. He had to fight. And Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Uttishta, he said, get up and fight. He's pushing Arjuna to fight. And finally, Arjuna said, Karishye vachanam tava. I will do what you say. In the beginning, he was not like that. So Arjuna already declared in the earlier verses that Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm not flattering you. This is a fact even accepted by the greatest of authorities like Asita, Devala and Vyasa, Narada. So, this is established. But please tell me about your opulences. What are opulences? What is opulence? His energies, Vaibhava. What are his energies? How is he maintaining his world? And how can I always remember Krishna? That's why you see Arjuna's point was, okay, Arjuna, Krishna, you are Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything, okay, good. Okay. Now let us discuss about something else. Let us discuss about this material world and like what is the great. Can you tell me exactly how creation happened? No. He did not say like that. He said, you tell me about your opulences so that how can I always think of you? So this is the difference between the atheistic scientists' exploration of science and space and whatever fields of frontiers of science and the theists' version of learning these things. We also have about creation much more accurate than these atheistic scientists and much more meaningful description of creation and everything. But also it is meaningful because it is related with Krishna. You cut that relation off, you will have no idea why even this was made. Like scientists, for example, they think Einstein is a great scientist. Max Planck is a great scientist. They came up with relativity, quantum physics, frontiers of so-called scientific research. Now, even if they're still far away from understanding this universe, but even if they did, they will never understand the reason behind this creation. Okay, they can explain some Big Bang, something happened, the universe is expanding, cosmic microwave background radiation, all these big words they will use. Okay, fine, let's give it to them. Why? They don't know. They see no reason. And this is exactly what Krishna has already said. You see? Asatyam apratishtham te jagadahuranishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kamahetukam. They say that this world is unreal with no foundation. You see, they don't accept God as the foundation. Anishwaram, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. That's what they understand. Because the propagation of all species is happening through sex. And that's how population is being brought forth. And the interactions of these is what life is and is what the world is. And recently some big scientist, He was saying that we humans are so small in the scale of the universe. Okay, this we understand. But we are actually not so small also, according to him. What is the reason? Because we are the creation of the universe. They think like this. At some point, these elements of earth, water, fire, they just came about and then life happened suddenly somewhere. Nobody knows how, but it happened. They cannot explain when it happened, how it happened. They have no idea. But they say like that. And then they say that this life has evolved to the maximum extent on earth, and the human beings are the most complex life, the most advanced of life forms. And our human body, although we are so small, it's a way of for the universe to understand itself, because humans are exploring the universe, right? So he's saying that we humans are a creation of part of this creation process for the universe to understand itself. No sense in that statement. This is their understanding. Why? Because no foundation, and it is not something new. Krishna already said this 5,000 years ago. Asatyam apratishtham te jagadahur anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kamaha kamahaitukam. He already said this 5,000 years ago. So these kind of atheists have always been there. Ravana and what is this? Hiranyakashipu. These are stalwart atheists. But those days only one mega atheist was there. Now there are so many small atheists. So in this way, they will not understand the reason for anything, and there's no basis. If everything is just, created and then destroyed one day, why are there moral principles? Why there should be something called good and something called bad? Bubbles in the ocean, they just come into existence and then destroyed after some time. Who cares? So why do we care then? So they can't even explain why do they have laws, why they have, what is ethics, morals, what is the meaning of all these things? Why should we be concerned about not harming someone? Because anyway that is going to be destroyed. It is just a bubble in the cosmos. Everyone is just a bubble, and then one bubble bursts. What is the big sin in that? So, but they have ethics, they have morals, they have so-called laws, and then, of course, very defective, but they have something. So when you ask them, why do you have these things then? They cannot really explain, because there's no foundation, there is nothing that connects the both of them. The scientific understanding of the universe and then morals on the other side. There's just no. But when we understand that Krishna is at the base of everything, at the root of everything, and then we are eternal, we are not finished with the body, then yes, we have to be worried about the consequences of all that we do. Everything becomes judged. And we will be, in fact, our present body is, we know for sure that we did not have control of our body. We did not choose how we will look, how intelligent or foolish we will be, how rich or famous we will be. We did not choose. Our parents we did not choose. Our country of birth we did not choose. There are so many things we did not choose. So why are we given these things? So we should question. So we are given these things on some background judgment. So that means we acted before we took birth, because of which now this is a consequence, this body. That's why if you take out that part of continuation of birth, continuation of life, then there is no reasoning behind why somebody is born poor, somebody is born rich, why somebody who's well behaved gets something which is so drastically painful in life. And sometimes these atheists and criminals have a fine time navigating life. We cannot understand these things. They don't seem to be meaningful. And in their misjudgment, they blame God for it. If there is at all a God, then he is a fool, because why is he giving this kind of results? So in this way, we will have a wrong understanding of everything. So now Krishna is Bhagavan, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Accepted by the greatest of sages, and not simply some Bhagavan because I think he's Bhagavan. Like what this Sai Baba, we call him Ali Baba, and the 40 thieves. So he is so-called God who is not accepted by Narada Muni, not by Asita, Devala, Vyasa, Yamaraj. No. In fact, if you accept him, Yamaraj will wait for you. He will wait for you. What? You equate and they say what? Sai Ram. Why man and God put together? Sai and Ram, what is that? Why? Man is equal to God, is it? And it is the second biggest temple in India. We don't care. We will speak the truth. People may hate us. Absolutely don't care. Because we want to save you. We want to save those who are, of course, if they get angry, what can be done? You know, Upadesho hi murkhanam prakopayana shante. If you give advice to fools, they will not accept. But I am not saying this on my own because I don't like that person. No. We don't hate anyone. But when there is cheating, we will have to be honest about it and say that this is cheating. So he is Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So he is, what is Bhagavan? I think devotees they know. For those who do not know, this is the verse from Vishnu Puran, the definition of Bhagavan. And it is very important, especially for Hindus, to know this definition. Because they don't know, they loosely use this word, Bhagavan, for every rascal that comes out and proclaims he is Bhagavan. They will just accept, okay, Bhagavan, Bhagavan. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya. You know what is Samagrasya? Complete, in infinite quantity. Okay? All of these in infinite quantity. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasha, Sriyaha. Jnana Vairagyayoschaiva, Shannam Bhaga Itingana. Vishnu Puran 6.5.74. Note this. This is the definition of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is thus defined by Parashar Muni. Who is Parashar Muni? Father of Vyasadeva. He defined Bhagavan as one who is full in 6 opulences. What are they? Full strength, full fame, full wealth, full knowledge, full beauty, and full renunciation. When we say full, not some 1 liter bottle full. No. 1 liter bottle is a finite quantity. Where infinite quantity, that is full. Full strength. You see, if in this world anybody who has even one of these 6 opulences in a little more quantity than others, he or she becomes famous. If somebody is, let's take Bruce Lee, strong, you see, famous. So he attracts somebody who's famous, like, you know, all these, what is this, movie stars, pop stars, or anybody who's famous, he attracts attention. Somebody who has wealth, they come out in the Forbes list, something. Knowledge, somebody who is knowledgeable is also attractive because people come to him for knowledge. Somebody who has beauty is also attractive. And somebody who has renunciation. Somebody who can easily give up. You know, when somebody is, you know, very rich, but he's very humble, you appreciate, wow, he's not so, you know, snobbish or something, he's renounced and he doesn't even care for, he just, like for example, crude example, but Elon Musk, for example, one of the richest men on earth, but he sleeps in his office couch. Some people say, oh, and he lives in a rented home. He said, I don't need. So, of course, he's not exactly renounced, but people appreciate that. Even that much. It's like hardly any renunciation there because he's fully absorbed in his material work. But even that they appreciate. So he becomes attractive. Krishna has all this in infinite quantity. These are all opulences. Strength is an opulence, fame is an opulence, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation are opulences. So Bhagavan means one who possesses these opulences, these bhagas. And Bhagyavan means one who is fortunate, one who is blessed by these opulences. That means he has a little bit, he is showered by the Lord with a little of these opulences. He is called Bhagyavan, fortunate. But Krishna is not fortunate, he is not blessed. He is the owner of all blessings. He is the owner of all opulences, of all powers. So, Bhagavan is speaking here. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, not Bhagyavan. In fact, if you see the original version of this Bhagavad Gita 1972 edition, it is written there, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the blessed Lord said. No, it is not the blessed Lord. Who is blessing the Lord? Who is that rascal who is trying to bless the Lord? He is not a blessed Lord. That was a mistake by one of the editors at that time. So we are against that. And Prabhupada was against that. So he is not the blessed Lord. He is the owner of all blessings. Everybody is blessed by him. Fortunate means one who is blessed by fortune. But he is the master of the goddess of fortune. So he is Bhagavan. So his opulences are limitless in every direction. And that is the reason why his name is Krishna. Krishna means, you know the word Akarshan. Akarshan means attraction. Krishna means the one who attracts, the attractor. Krishna. Akarshan means one who is attracted by something. Krishna means one who attracts. So, a magnet is also called Krishna. Or sometimes it is also known as Akarsha, because it attracts. Sankarshan. You know what is Sankarshan means? Akarshan and Sankarshan, same thing. Sankarshan means Samyak Akarshan. Samyak means complete. Akarshan. Because by the power of Sankarshan, there is gravitational pull. That is Sankarshan. Everything, completely, everything is pulled by gravity. That's why it's called Sankarshan. And not only by the gravitational attraction, he attracts even by his beauty, of course, by his opulences, because he is non-different from Krishna. But this is how Krishna is described, and that's why his name is Krishna. He's not one of the Hindu gods. He's a loving god. He has girlfriend, that kind of god. This is the understanding of many even Hindus. Unfortunate. Therefore, Krishna says, Evam yovetti tattvataha. Who will come back to me, Vaikuntha? No more birth and death for him. Who? This is the person. 4th chapter, 9th verse. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yovetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. You know, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities. So Krishna's appearance and Krishna's activities. And don't be mistaken that Krishna's activities are only when he came here, he killed Putana, he danced with some girls, he lifted the Govardhan hill and he went back. No. That is not the only, first of all, there are so much depth even to those activities. But even the creation is his activity. Now, yes, he killed Putana, he killed all these demons, and he had Ras Leela, he played with the cowherd boys, he instructed Arjuna. All these are his activities, yes. In our present life now, how can we perceive Krishna? Of course, Sundar Prabhu also gave a class by chanting Krishna's name. And also, our other senses are also working, no? Going here and there. So instead of them being distractions from Krishna, they can also be instruments whereby we can be attracted to Krishna. Our eyes are seeing something. There is an example where Prabhupada was asked this question. There are so many beautiful women. How to control our mind? Prabhupada said, all those beautiful women belong to Krishna. They are his gopis. So bow down to them. So this is, immediately mind is controlled. Oh, they are Krishna's property. Now, entertainment industry. What is that? How to make that woman my girlfriend. This is the mentality. And they give license to these movies, whatever, pornography also they give. I mean, even so-called non-pornographic movies also have all kinds of scenes. And you expect sadhus like Yudhishthir Maharaj to come out of that cinema hall. You expect rapes not to happen. Why? They will happen. They will definitely happen. They will increase more and more. Because now this generation addicted to pornography. Gen Z, so-called. Addicted. Because it's on their device. They can privately watch anything and everything. So, and you expect sadhus to come out from that. You call it an entertainment on one side and then you punish them because they rape or something. I mean, be logical in your approach. Oh no, that is just for entertainment. Why his mind is so dirty? Well, you are putting in all the dirt. Of course, for every guy who rapes, there will be 10,000 guys who thought about it but never did it because of scare, being afraid. Imagine the rate of corruption of the human mind. And so, we have to, everywhere we see, we should remember Krishna. And if we take the Bhagavad Gita instructions or Bhagavatam instructions carefully, attentively, then you know what will happen? Everything will reflect Krishna's teachings. For example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna. As humble as a blade of grass we must be, and as tolerant as a tree. Every time you see a tree, and where do you not, you will remember Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction, I should be as tolerant as this. The other day, 3 weeks ago, we had a car burnt to crisp just in front of our temple. It burst, and then the whole flame, the entire car was in flames. And we were watching, I have a video clip of that. And as it was happening, it was under this tree, just right. If you go now, after this program, you go into the tree in front of our temple, you see all the leaves are burnt. And when you see that, you understand the tolerance of the tree. So much fire, and of course, the tree cannot move. We will, of course, run away. But the tree cannot move. It has to just tolerate. And now, new leaves are coming from the tree here and there. All the leaves at the bottom are burnt. You can see even now they are hanging from the tree, the dry leaves. And the whole trunk is black with smoke, soot. So, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna. We are reminded. So every time we see a tree, we can remember this. And grass, of course, we may be walking on grass. The grass is humble. You step on it, it will bend down. So that's a quality we can learn. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what is that? Vasamsi jiranani yatha vihaya navani grahanati naroparani. Every day we are changing dress. And Krishna says, just as we change dress every day, we are changing bodies every life. The body is like a dress on the soul. It's not you. So we are reminded just by when we are changing our dresses, we can see the dress and we can remember this instruction. And he said, tortoise, one should be controlling his senses just as the tortoise controls its limbs. Sometimes inside, sometimes out. So when our senses has to be engaged in Krishna's service, they come out. And when not, withdraw. Not that all the time out and I'm get all, led by my senses here and there. So in this way, everywhere, even a tortoise can then teach me. Why? Because it is reflecting the teaching that is already there in the Shastra. You look at the tortoise, you are reminded of that. You look at the tree, you are reminded of that. So that's why Krishna uses these examples. Like Kunti Devi is saying, just as the rivers continuously, without interruption, flow to the ocean, let my devotion be flowing to you always, Krishna. Rivers, any river you take, it will go to the ocean. It will go to the ocean. Uninterrupted. Even if there is a big boulder, it will find another way, and around the boulder, it will go to the ocean still. You put how many ever this thing, it will still go. People construct dams. You don't open the dam, see what happens. It will overflow and go. It will go to the ocean, no matter what. So whatever obstacle may come in my way, let me go to the ocean uninterrupted. We can learn. And rivers, water we are seeing everywhere. And every morning we say samsara davana leedhaloka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam. The Karuna Sindhu, Krishna is called the ocean of mercy. But we cannot harvest the water from the ocean and drink. The clouds must bring it to us. The cloud must come here and then pour the rain, and then we will have water. So Guru is making that ocean of mercy accessible to us who are in this desert of material existence, and he's bringing the cloud. He's the cloud which is pouring forth the mercy of rain coming from the ocean of Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam. So by seeing the cloud, we can remember the Guru's mercy. By seeing the cloud's color, we can remember this is Krishna's color. So everywhere we must remember this is called Krishna consciousness. And Arjuna is asking, how are your opulences there existing so that I can always remember you? That is his point of asking this question. Of course, he is already clear. He is asking this question for us because we cannot see the universal form that he was going to see in front of Krishna. He saw the Virat Rupa. Now everybody is looking at Virat Kohli only. But Virat Rupa Krishna showed. That Virat you see. So, but we cannot see. So how can I see in this world? So Krishna is giving so many examples. After this, Krishna will start. But he said, Pradhanyataha Kurushrestha. You are Kurushrestha. You are the zenith of human race on the earth. But even you cannot understand me. What to speak of others. And therefore, Pradhanyata. I'll tell some important glimpses of my power. Then you will get an idea of it. And when he says important as in what we can understand. There are many things important which we don't understand. What we can understand, that much he will reveal. In fact, not only in today's verse did he say that, that is his principle anywhere and everywhere. How much we can understand. Like for example, the Ramayana in the Brahmalok is 1 billion verses long. 1 billion verses long in Brahmalok. Here on earth it is 25,000 verses long. Same Ramayana. How it is 1 billion and 25,000, like what is that? Million times smaller. Because we can only grasp that much. There is so much more to Ram Leela or same any Leela. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. This Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, many times said that I cannot actually describe. I am just giving you the important main highlights of his life. But there is unending. Even Anantashesh with his thousands and millions of hoods, he cannot finish glorifying the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in this world only for 48 years. He left. 48 years worth of activities cannot be endlessly. You can go on. I mean, if we want to talk about our life, we cannot stop. Our own life. If I want to tell every single detail of my life, I cannot end. But the thing is, my life's activities got no significance. Whereas Krishna's every single moment, his activities are full of significance. But only a few leelas here and there were mentioned. But actually, every moment there was a leela. Every leela had multiple facets of understanding it. For example, Krishna, fell the two Yamalarjun trees. For Yashoda, naughty child, lucky boy, he was saved. Two big trees fell. That is Yashoda Mata's understanding. For the Yamalarjun trees themselves, they were Nalakuvar and Manigriva, sons of Kuver, waiting there since millions of years for Krishna to come and witness his pastimes in the bodies of trees and then be liberated by his touch. And Narad Muni cursed them to become those trees. So he is doing many things. He is increasing the anxiety of Mother Yashoda and increasing her love for him. He is chastising the two Yamalarjuna, those Nalakuvar and Manigriva, and is teaching us that, what is teaching us? Many things. Damodar, in fact, he's called Damodar in that form. Dama Udara. Udara means stomach, belly. Dama means who's tied at this area of the stomach. He is Damodar. So he can only, how can God be tied? He showed in his mouth the whole universe to Mother Yashoda, right? And in that universe, she saw herself looking into Krishna's mouth in the Krishna's mouth. She went, what is going on? So the whole universe is there. How can you tie a rope around the whole universe? Can't. But she was able to. In the beginning, she was not able to. How much ever she tried and tried all the rope, but she could not tie. Finally, Krishna relented, okay, you tie. Now, then she tied. So, that gap is love and devotion. So, with the love and devotion, one can tie Krishna up. The one who is unconquerable, Jita Ajitopyasita Trilokyam. Even the Ajit means you cannot conquer him, you cannot win him. But Jita Jitopyasita Trilokyam. One can conquer the Ajita. So, by love and devotion, that is one. And he is teaching another thing. Devar shirme priyatamo yadi maudhanadatmajo tat tatha sadhayishyami yad getam tan mahatmana. Okay. This is a lesson for all of us. He made sure that not only Narad Muni cursed them, they learned their lesson because they were dancing naked with girls who were also naked in the river, in the heavenly planets. And Narad Muni was passing by. The girls quickly hid themselves and covered their bodies. But these two shameless fellows, drunk as they were, still going on in their masti. Narad Muni said, you shameless rascals, you do not know how to behave. You want to stand naked, you stand naked like trees. So lusty, you stand naked as trees. So then they came to their senses and they begged for forgiveness. Then they said, okay, still you will stand as trees, but you will stand as trees at a place where in the future Krishna will come and it will be in his courtyard and you will witness his pastimes and then by his own touch you will be delivered. I said, okay, thank you very much. They stood there as trees. So curse of a devotee is also blessing. Yeah. You cannot say that, oh, how come Narad Muni was so ruthless, how can he curse? Of course they can curse. Their curse is actually for our benefit. That is one lesson. But you see here, although these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them. Nothing to do with them. Devarshin Narada is my very dear and affectionate devotee. And therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their delivery. In other words, this Nalakuvar and Manigriva are representing us. We are the people who have nothing to do with Krishna and whom Krishna has nothing to do with. We don't deserve his attention because we have been against him since time immemorial for millions and billions of lifetimes. We neglected him. After taking every single breath of air from him, we have been shameless, ungrateful rascals that we had never even turned our face towards him. So we don't deserve his mercy at all. He has nothing to do with us. Then how can I come here, chant? And my Devarshi Narada is my affectionate devotee. He said, I will come and deliver you. Therefore, to honor his words, I am coming, not that you are so great and I am coming to deliver you. So we have to understand, we are not great that, oh, I am chanting Krishna's name, I can memorize these shlokas, or I am doing this, I am doing that. I am a great devotee of Krishna. What great devotee? The person who says I am a great devotee, that is a sign of a devotee who is not great, who is not yet a devotee. Because devotee doesn't think like that. The greatest of devotees, Sarvottam apana ke hina kori mane. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the Sarvottam, the devotee, is actually topmost of the human race, devotee of Krishna. But the quality that he has is that he will consider himself the bottommost. Purusher kita hoy mui se laghishta, jagai madhai hoy mui se papishta. What is that? I am Sanatana Goswami. He is saying the worm that is crawling in the stool, shit worm, that is better than me. And he's not saying this to just sound poetic. He is actually feeling himself like that. The worm in the stool is better than me. You look at the worm in the stool. You go to drainage in India, you have plenty of it. You go there and look, you observe there how the worm is moving. You take a stick and put the worm outside, it will go back. Why are you bringing me out? I'll go back. The other day I was chanting here below, and in the night time, cockroaches were happy. Nobody disturbed them. They were everywhere near the garbage dump. So everywhere there were cockroaches, big ones. Some flying here and there. I was just standing and looking at all of them. Then some cockroaches, they were going inside. The drain is there. You're going inside the drain, and then coming out for a while, going inside again. That is their life. That is their life. You look at the cockroach. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Sanatana Goswami is saying, I am worse than them. That is how an actual devotee will think. Person who is not a devotee, he will think that he is a great devotee. So, here he is showing that we actually are nowhere great. Prabhupada took some interest in us. To satisfy Prabhupada, Prabhupada said what? You chant 16 rounds every day, Mala, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and you follow these 4 principles: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. I will take you back to Godhead. We should understand one thing. We are never qualified to go back to Godhead. We don't deserve that place. But Prabhupada said, and only because of Krishna's affection for Prabhupada, who is a pure devotee, he will take any interest in us at all, if at all. So that's why we every day morning we sing, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, Yasya aprasadan nagati kutopi. If the Guru, when we are saying Guru, who is a devotee of Krishna, not any. So, if that Guru is satisfied with us, then Krishna will immediately be satisfied with us. And if we dissatisfy him, if we dissatisfy him, if he is dissatisfied with us, then nagati kutopi. We don't have any gati. We don't have a hope to go back to Godhead. So if we at all want to go back to Godhead and end our miseries, we should take shelter of the spiritual master, the bona fide spiritual master. Shelter means follow his instructions. Read his books so that we constantly are in touch with his instructions. Because it's not that, I read Bhagavad Gita. So what? You became PhD, in Bhagavad Gita? Great devotees are reading over and over and over and over again, millions of times. I read Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Graduated. graduated, Bhagavad Gita graduate. Read again. And if you cannot read again, read another book. We have Bhagavatam, we have Nectar. Whole life you cannot finish. That many books we have. Read. So you have to read. And never think that there's some great, some big sadhu and all. Because Narada is my affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. So, in this way, what I'm saying is, every Leela of Krishna has so many facets to it. He is doing so many things in one Leela, every single one of his Leelas. So, there's no limit of how much you can describe Krishna's Leelas. That is the meaning of limitless opulence. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. He has so many Shaktis, so many potencies, they're working as if automatically under his direction. You see, he's managing the database of every single thought of every single living entity, not just humans as 8 billion people. No. 8 billion is nothing. The other day I was seeing the graph. Biomass on Earth. The trees make up almost like 50%, 60% of biomass on Earth. Humans, how much we make up? 0.03% or something. That much. All human bodies weight put together, all the fat people, whoever, all put together, everybody, 8 billion people, 0.03% of the entire biomass of Earth. So, every single living entity that is there, not only on Earth, but every single planet in the universe, which is full of life, every single planet is full of life. Scientists cannot find, they are blind. So anyway, and not only one universe, there are millions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of universes. All of them put together are only 1/4 of the entirety of the number of souls that are existing. The rest 3/4, Tripad Vibhuti, is in the Vaikuntha Lok. 75% of the population is in Vaikuntha Lok. Here 25% of population in the material world. That many people, that many souls, every single thing, this is what Krishna has in his database. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities. But me, no one knows. No one knows. So Krishna's database is that much, and yet what he's doing? Dancing in Ras Leela, stealing butter. This is his activities. How can a busy person who has to maintain that much, not just database, he has to create, he has to make facility. If somebody murdered, then he has to make the facility for him to be murdered in this next life, and he has to arrange the murderer, some psychopath, serial killer or whatever, or some terrorist or whatever it is. So he has to maintain how much intricate arrangements he has to do, and yet he's just happily stealing butter. Just imagine. So how is everything happening then? Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. He has energies so vast that he needs to do nothing. And therefore he is just playing. You see, every other devata, they are doing some duty. They're doing something. Even Lord Shiva, the greatest of the devatas, Mahadev, and what he's doing, he's also meditating. And after he came out of meditation, he told this to Parvati. Yam mam apricchastvam yogat sama sahasranta uparatam vai sa esha sakshat purushah purano nayatra kalo vishatena vedah. This is Lord Shiva speaking to Parvati Devi. When I finished performing mystic yoga for 1000 years, you asked me upon whom I was meditating. Now here is that Supreme Person, to whom time has no entrance and whom the Vedas cannot understand. This is the Supreme Lord I have been meditating on. Lord Shiva is saying. Krishna, you don't find him meditating. He is playing his flute, he's enjoying. In fact, one Westerner, Prabhupada many times quoted this. One British, he was, during British Raj in India. So he was very much interested in Indian culture and he was studying. He went to many temples and he commented that in all temples, every devata is, as if in an official position and, like blessing somebody or, killing something they're doing. Only Krishna is the only deity I see just simply enjoying and nothing but enjoying himself. He's not worshipping anyone. He's not like, he's just playing. And that is correct. Every other devata has duties. Krishna does not. But sometimes Krishna accepts duties out of his own love for his devotees. He becomes Sarathi, he becomes a messenger, he becomes everything for his devotee. For Bali Maharaj, he became a doorkeeper, Dwarapalak in the Sutala planet. Bali Maharaj. So, for his devotees, he will do anything that is out of his love. Just like sometimes father will become like, on all fours, and then the child will sit on the father, and then the father will go as if, he became a horse for the child. But that is because out of father's love, he will just do that. Not that he's forced by the child to become his horse. So, like that. So, I'll stop it here. Any questions or comments on this topic? All right. We'll end it here then. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.